weather, the waves, the cliffs, the caves, the mountains changing every day. The seasons, the clouds, the stars come out each night in a slightly different way. Oh, what do I know? Constant is my soul, constant is the sun, constant is the love of the one. I can feel my heart beating like a drum. One mystery ends and another's begun. I'm watching the world spin beyond my control. Constant is my soul.
The vision, the hope, the life I've known could be gone. Everything changes by the day. The aches, the pains, the dreams down the drain again, leaving darkness in their wake. Oh, what do I see?
Constant is my soul, constant is the sun, constant is the love of the one. I can feel my heart beating like a drum. One mystery ends and another's begun.
I'm watching the world spin beyond my control. Constant is my soul.
Why do I fear another new beginning when I already know each ending is coming in its perfect time and way?
Constant is my soul,
constant is the sun, constant is the love of the one. I can feel my heart beating like a drum. One mystery ends and another's begun.
constant is my soul,
Constant is the sun, constant is the love of the one. I can feel my heart beating like a drum. One mystery ends and another's begun.
I'm watching the world spin beyond my control.
I'm watching the world spin beyond my control.
Constant is my soul.
Constant is my soul.
Well, hello there, everyone, and good morning. It's always a pleasure to be here with you.
Welcome to Unity of Chattanooga's Sunday celebration service. My name is Reverend Doug Worth, and this is my wife, Penny. Hey. First, we want to acknowledge the music team at Unity of the Oaks for their heartfelt music today. And next, we want to extend a special welcome to anyone who's here for the first time. We're so grateful that you've chosen to be with us here this morning, and we hope that you'll hear something that not only inspires you, but touches your soul.
And for everyone, we would appreciate it if you'd say hello in the comment section when you join us. And feel free to communicate with each other with your questions and your comments.
We'd also like you to hit the like button if you enjoy what you hear. And if you know of some friends or family that might benefit from today's message, hit the share button too. Because when you share, it boosts the search engines and gets our message out to many, many other people. You know, in Unity, we like to begin our services with prayer. And so I invite you now to simply take a deep infilling breath. Close your eyes. Be comfortable in your seats. And as we release and let go, we bring our attention to this moment right here and right now, and welcome in that one presence and one power active in our lives, God the good, omnipotent. And so as we move into this space of grace within us, we know that the activity of Spirit is always at work. And so we affirm the truth that we are divine in nature. In this sacred space, we simply let go of the challenges that often occupy our minds with words that negate spiritual truths. So while the outer circumstances may be challenging, we acknowledge and we accept that God's goodness and God's grace and God's presence is in us in every situation, and there is no challenge too great for the spiritual realm. Source always knows the solution, and we want to be part of that. So we take a moment right now. We breathe, we lighten up, and we allow Spirit to flow through our minds, through our hearts. We know that what comes next in our lives will be even better. These truth statements shift and lift us to a higher consciousness where all things manifest and all things resolve. So as we speak these words, we are inspired to express our spiritual nature, and we're filled with God's grace and God's love. The divine is right here and right now, waiting for us to turn inward and allow God's wisdom and grace to unfold in our lives. And so for this and for so much more, we say thank you, God, and we know that it is so. Amen.
Oh, that was great. I needed that.
Well, me too. Me too.
So as we head into the Thanksgiving week, the real reason that I wanted to be here today is because I would just like to take a moment to personally say thank you from my heart to all of you who have stayed with us through the changes, and to those who have stepped up to help us keep our doors open, and to those who continue to support us financially, and for everyone who is holding the high watch for Unity of Chattanooga to become the vibrant spiritual community that it is meant to be. Let's be honest, when we look back, we went through a time when Unity of Chattanooga was on shaky ground. And even today, we're just simply getting tired of the ongoing uncertainty in our lives. And yet through it all, we continue to grow and move forward. We have managed to keep an online presence as well as meeting in person. Now this doesn't happen by itself. It takes all of us. And I am deeply grateful to be on this spiritual journey with you. I recently heard a minister at another Unity church say, "When others touch our lives, we can't help but become something more." So I thank you for helping me to become more. We are all indeed part of this blessed community.
Oh, thank you, Penny. Yeah. Our guest speaker this morning is the Rev Sandra Campbell, and she is the Associate Minister at the Unity Temple on the Plaza in Kansas City. And she is a walking, talking manifestation of the soul of everything that we teach. In other words, she is the real deal. We just love her energy and her dedication to teaching spiritual principles. Her talk today is on gratitude and appreciation. But before Reverend Sandra's talk today, she would like to share a video with us called Gratitude by Louis Schwartzberg.
You think this is just another day in your life? It's not just another day. It's the one day that is given to you today. It's given to you. It's a gift. It's the only gift that you have right now, and the only appropriate response is gratefulness. if you do nothing else but to cultivate that response to the great gift that this unique day is, if you learn to respond as if it were the first day in your life and the very last day, then you will have spent this day very well. Begin by opening your eyes and be surprised that you have eyes you can open. That incredible array of colors that is constantly offered to us for pure enjoyment. Look at the sky. We so rarely look at the sky. We so rarely note how different it is from moment to moment with clouds coming and going. We just think of the weather, and even of the weather we don't think of all the many nuances of weather. We just think of good weather and bad weather. This day, right now, it's unique weather. Maybe a kind that will never exactly in that form come again. The formation of clouds in the sky will never be the same that is right now. Open your eyes, look at that. Look at the faces of people whom you meet. Each one has an incredible story behind their face. A story that you could never fully fathom. Not only their own story, but the story of their ancestors. We all go back so far. And in this present moment, on this day, all the people you meet, all that life from generations and from so many places all over the world, flows together and meets you here like a life-giving water if you only open your heart and drink. Open your heart to the incredible gifts that civilization gives to us. You flip a switch and there is electric light. You turn a faucet and there is warm water and cold water and drinkable water. It's a gift that millions and millions in the world will never experience. So these are just a few of an enormous number of gifts to which we can open your heart. And so I wish you that you will open your heart to all these blessings and let them flow through you, that everyone whom you will meet on this day will be blessed by you. Just by your eyes, by your smile, by your touch, just by your presence. Let the gratefulness overflow into blessing all around you. And then it will really be a good day.
I hope you enjoyed that video with Louis Schwartzberg, reminding us that everyone matters and every experience in our life is one to be grateful for, even if it doesn't seem like something to be grateful for at the time. I've watched that video probably 10 times, and each time I'm just as inspired as if I saw it for the first time. As Louis Schwartzberg reminds us, today is a gift, and that's why we call it the present. And the reason to live gracefully is to continue to live in the gift, in the presence, to be in the present moment. Thank you to Unity of Chattanooga for making me feel welcome once again. Thank you to all of you who made this service possible, and all of you who are watching, tuning in, or maybe watching later. I love you. I bless you. I behold the Christ in you. And I want to say a special thanks to all those on whose shoulders we now stand to bring these messages, these gifts of the present to so many people throughout the unity movement. A man was interviewing for a job, and he was so excited. He hadn't worked in a while. The interviewers were the CEO and the human resources director of the company. They were excited too because this man had an impeccable resume, and they were so interested in all of his experience and what he had to share. But they noticed there was a 5-year gap in his experience. And the CEO said, "What were you doing in those 5 years?" He said, "Oh, I went to Yale." They said, "Wonderful. You're exactly who we're looking for. You're hired." He said, "Thank you for the job." So my message today is about grace and gratitude. Today's daily word is grace. And the affirmation is grace is a constant blessing. Grace is a constant blessing. I'm reminded of a movie that was filmed in Tennessee, in Memphis, as a matter of fact. And the movie is called The Grace Card. I've watched that movie probably a dozen times. And the movie is not a true story, but it certainly rings true. It's about a tumultuous time in the city of Memphis. There was racial tension and all kinds of things and distrust of the police force. And one of the police officers had a grandfather who played the part of, who was a famous actor I love, Louis Gossett Jr., played the part of the grandfather who had been a preacher. And this particular police officer was wanting to become a preacher and follow in his grandfather's footsteps, but he was torn because of the experiences he was having with racism on the police force and whether or not he was up to being a pastor of a church. On one of his conversations with his grandfather, his wise grandfather, he pulled out a book from his bookcase that was very old. And inside the book was a card. He explained to them that this book was given to an 8-year-old boy who had been a slave. And the master had taught this little boy to read. And in his death had given him this book. Now, you know, during slavery, it was dangerous to teach a slave to read. But this master saw something in this boy. This boy was the great-grandfather of the police officer and the grandfather of his grandfather. And this grandfather became a preacher. So it was a long line of preachers. The card in the Bible that the master had given to the young 8-year-old boy read, "I hereby promise to pray for you every day, ask for forgiveness, and grant you the same, and be your friend always." That's called the grace card. And never underestimate the power of grace to heal even the most difficult situations. This Thursday, we'll be celebrating another Thanksgiving. Many of you will have family and friends over, and you'll roll out the red carpet and a bountiful feast. But you know, Thanksgiving is just one day, and I believe in Thanksgiving. I think that every day is Thanksgiving Day, an opportunity for us to express our gratitude for the very things that we take for granted. The little things, the sun coming up in the morning, the moon and stars at night, the refreshing rain in my part of the country, and maybe even yours, the snow, the various seasons. There's so much to be thankful for. Our breathing, our being able to have this conversation on, Zoom, technology that we might not have been able to use 10, 15, 20 years ago during a pandemic. How would we have communicated? Being thankful for everything is what the Apostle Paul talked about. 1 Thessalonians, the 5th chapter and 16th verse says, "Rejoice always, pray without ceasing, and in every circumstance give thanks." It doesn't say just give thanks when things are going well. It says in every circumstance give thanks. That's exactly what I want to talk to you about today. I'm reminded of Doris Day coming on television for an orange juice commercial when I was a little girl singing, "Make every day count, do what you really want to do, every day, every day, every day." Make every day count, every moment counts, every day matters, and everybody matters. Gratitude is a choice. You can choose to be grateful, or you can choose to be hateful. You can choose to be glad or you can choose to be sad. You have a choice in your attitude. You might not be able to change your circumstances, but you can change your attitude. Maya Angelou said, if you don't like something, change it. And if you can't change it, change your attitude about it. That's one of Unity's most important principles, that we create our reality based on the thoughts we choose to think, the beliefs we choose to hold on to, and the actions we choose to take. We create our reality. We can choose to be grateful. We can choose to be happy. The story is told of Midas, King Midas, and the golden touch. You probably remember that story from when you were in elementary school and you read children's stories that have adult meanings and adult themes, and this is one of them. Midas had a wish that everything he touched would turn to gold, and a genie granted his wish. And he was piling up the riches, he was piling up the gold. And then one day he gave his beloved daughter a hug, and she turned into a golden statue. And he realized that having everything turn to gold does not create happiness. And so he asked the genie to please reverse this curse so that his daughter, his one love, would return to him. And then he realized that we're already rich. We already have enough. We don't need everything to turn to gold. We have all the gold we need in the love and the happiness and the joy that we share with others. Gratitude flourishes in the sphere of grace. And grace is a prayer of gratitude. Meister Eckhart said, if the only prayer you ever say is thank you, that will be enough, because grace is a prayer of gratitude. So how do we apply this idea of grace and gratitude in our life every day? As I said earlier, the Apostle Paul was all about teaching grace and teaching people how to forgive and live an abundant life as Jesus taught us by living a life of grace and gratitude. I want to repeat 1 Thessalonians 5:16 because I think it's important enough for us to keep being reminded. Rejoice always, not just sometimes, not when things are going well. Rejoice always. Pray without ceasing, not just to say thanks or turn thanks, as my mother would say, when you say grace before a meal, but pray without ceasing. And we know that every thought is a prayer. And in everything, without exception, be grateful. In everything, the Apostle Paul says, give thanks. I found this piece by an unknown author who obviously is a master of the attitude of gratitude. They write, I am thankful for the wife who says it's hot dogs tonight because she's home with me and not out with someone else. I am thankful for the man or the husband who is on the sofa being a couch potato because he is home with me and not out at the bars. I am thankful for the teenager who's complaining about doing dishes because he or she is at home and not out running the streets. I am thankful for the taxes I pay because it means that I am employed. I am thankful for the mess to clean up after Thanksgiving dinner because it means we are surrounded by those we love. I am thankful for the clothes that fit too snug because it means I am well fed. I am thankful for my shadow that watches over me because it means I am walking in sunshine. I am thankful for the lawn that needs mowing, the leaves that need raking, the snow that needs shoveling, the windows that need cleaning, and the gutters that need fixing because it means I have a home. I am thankful for the complaining I hear about the government because it means we have free speech. I am thankful for my huge heating bill because it means I am warm. I am thankful for the parking spot I find at the far end of the parking lot because it means I am able to walk and I've been blessed with transportation. I am thankful for the lady behind me in church who sings off key because it means that I can hear. I am thankful for weariness and aching muscles at the end of the day because it means I am capable of working hard. I am thankful for the alarm that goes off in the early morning hours because it means I am alive. Finally, I am thankful for too much email because it means I have friends who are thinking of me. So your challenge today, as you move beyond this present moment, is when you appreciate what you have, it grows in value. If you have antiques around or you've watched that Antique Roadshow, people who've held on to things that have been passed down find out they're worth a whole lot more than they could have ever imagined. You are worth a whole lot more than you can ever imagine. And there are people in your life and things in your life that have great value. What you appreciate, hold on to, take good care of, appreciates. Because what you appreciate appreciates. Remember, there's always something to be grateful for. When you're grateful for what you have more to be grateful for. And you'll discover that what you have is always enough. Grace and gratitude, by the way, come from the same Latin root word, gratus. And when we find ourselves in a stop the world, I want to get off frame of mind, which happens to all of us from time to time, it's important to remember that there's another way and open ourselves to grace simply by looking around and looking within and realizing that we have much more to be thankful for than we usually take account of. When we open ourselves to grace, we can overcome any obstacles. And we do this by taking a moment to be grateful for this day. Make every day count. Grateful for being alive. As the Apostle says, Paul says, for everything, give thanks. Here are a few simple reminders as I close. Your job is the dream of the unemployed. You need to be reminded of that. There are people who want what you have, even if you don't think what you have is enough. There are those who don't even have that much. Your house is the dream of the homeless. To you, it may not be much, but to someone else, it's a castle, a mansion. Your smile is a dream of the depressed, and there are times when you may not feel like smiling. You may be wearing a mask, and maybe no one can see your smile, but your eyes can smile and tell a story that behind those eyes lies a person who is grateful for everything. Your health is a dream of those who are sick, and you may not be in the best of health, but someone else may wish they had what you have, that they may not be as well off as you when it comes to their health, and they wish they were in your shoes. Beautiful things happen when you distance yourself from negativity and count your blessings. So look around you, look within you, and find something to be grateful for right now. And express it right where you are. Let the world know that there's always something to be grateful for. Before we begin our meditation, I invite you to relax and bathe in the calming music of Sherry Hersey and Rick Cowling to lead us into a sacred time of communion with Spirit.
Please join us for the meditation song, Held in the Hands of Grace.
We are held in the hands of grace, forever safe in the arms of love. Like a child receives protection from a father's warm embrace, we are held in the hands of grace. We are held in the hands of grace, forever safe in the arms of love. Like a child receives protection from a father's warm embrace, we are held in the hands of grace.
We are held in the hands of grace, forever safe in the arms of love. Like a child receives protection from a father's warm embrace, we are held in the hands of grace. We are held in the hands of grace.
I invite you now to find that comfortable position wherever you are, sitting up straight and tall, or lying down, stretched out and comfortable. Take a deep, relaxing breath, and when you do, count 1. Hold it for a brief second, and then slowly release it to the count of 2. Take in a deep breath to the count of 3, and slowly exhale, 4. Continue this counting all the way to 10 until you find yourself completely relaxed, open, and receptive to being in the present moment. Today is a gift. That's why we call it the present. Take another deep, relaxing breath, and then you feel comfortable, close your eyes. And take these words of Unity's co-founder as your own. I am now in the presence of pure being and immersed in the Holy Spirit of life, love, and wisdom. And I am grateful. Follow along with me and listen in your heart to these words of affirmation. My heart is filled with gratitude today, a profound expression of my love and faith. I give thanks for all my blessings, especially family, friends, shelter, and food. I pause to appreciate every day the blessings that I receive, letting no small thing go unnoticed. I do not need to wait for a special day to give thanks. Gratitude is a way of life, a commitment that I make to find the good in all situations, to focus my attention on those things that I wish to manifest in my life. As I express gratitude for everything I have and everything I hope to receive, I open the door to abundant blessings. I pray in faith and gratitude, living in blissful certainty of blessings still to come. And I listen in the silence. If you're becoming distracted by your thoughts, try not to resist them. Just continue to focus on your breathing. Breathing in slowly to the count of 1, and slowly releasing that breath to the count of 2. Continue to count your breathing until you feel once again completely relaxed and in the present moment. And then allow the natural rise and fall of every breath to comfort you, to still your mind, to enable you to be here now. Breathing in, breathing out. Take in a relaxing deep breath and make an audible sound as you release that breath. And when you do, bring your attention back into your body, into this present time and space. And as we bring this time of meditation to a close, I invite you to take these words as your own. When I give thanks, I increase my ability to see the good. I do not wait to find reasons to be grateful, because the very act of giving thanks is its own reward. Focusing on gratitude, I am powerfully reminded of the abundant blessing and miracle that I am. In the words of the Apostle Paul, as you go about your day and the week ahead, and not just for this coming Thanksgiving holiday, but every day is your Thanksgiving day, be reminded to rejoice always, pray without ceasing, and in everything give thanks. We close our time of quiet meditation and connection with Spirit with the most powerful prayer we could ever say. Thank you, God. And so it is, and so it will be. Ashe and Amen.
Thank you, Reverend Sandra, for sharing your message with us this morning. Now is the time in our service for our love offering, where we get to practice the law of giving and receiving. When it comes to prosperity, we often think in terms of getting what we want. But as we've learned in our recent talks about prosperity, it all begins when we open that door in consciousness by giving to where we've been spiritually fed. Jesus said simply, "Give and it will be given to you, pressed down, shaken together, and overflowing in your lap. For the measure you give will be the measure you get back." So I invite you now to consider making a financial contribution to Unity of Chattanooga so that we can continue to bring you uplifting messages, healing meditations, and soul-filled music. And know that as your spirit moves in this direction, Providence moves too, bringing blessings in every area of your life and this ministry. So let's bless these gifts with our affirmation. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I give in love, and I receive in abundance.
Spirit flow through me as I open up to be an expression of your unfolding peace.
as I open up to be an expression of your unfolding love.
We have a few announcements to share with you this morning. Prior to the celebration service, every Sunday morning at 9:30, our prayer chaplains offer a guided meditation on Zoom, and you can find the link to that on our website at unityofchattanooga.org under Events. I also want to let you know that both Reverend Doug and Shannon will be off next week for Thanksgiving, so there will be no midweek faith lift. For our outreach program, we are still continuing to collect individually wrapped non-perishable foods, toiletries, socks, and gloves for the homeless. And you can bring your donations next week to our in-person service. That's right, Sunday, November 28th, we're going to meet again in person at the Red Bank Community Center. Rev Doug will be there to complete our series on the 4 spiritual laws of prosperity by Edwin Gaines. But there'll be a slight change, because our one and only AV man, Shannon, will be out of town celebrating Thanksgiving with his family. He'll not be here to record the service live on Facebook, which means you simply have to join us. But there's a benefit to that, because, you know, Thanksgiving is one of those holidays that keeps on giving. And by that, I mean leftovers. So after the service on November 28th, we're going to have a Thanksgiving leftover potluck. So bring a dish to share. It's bound to be a great time. We have one more announcement left, and that is from our board vice president, Mona Petro.
Good morning. I'm Mona Petro from your Board of Trustees here at Unity of Chattanooga. I'm sure you all have heard of Giving Tuesday, and this year it falls on November the 20th. I want to share with you the history of Giving Tuesday. Giving Tuesday began as a simple idea in 2012, a day that encouraged people to do good, promote the concept of radical generosity. The initiative was the brainchild of Henry Timms at the 92nd Street Y in New York. Even with very little media exposure, the first year of Giving Tuesday concept, people across the U.S. donated approximately $10 million. Today, Giving Tuesday has been described as a federated multi-platform campaign that involves many different nonprofits, all focusing on a single day so that they could coordinate efforts to raise awareness and publicity for their causes. It was last reported that Giving Tuesday has collected $2.5 billion for multiple local, national, and global nonprofit causes. Now, this brings me to the Unity of Chattanooga. Starting in January, we'll begin having bi-monthly in-person services at the Red Bank Community Center, as well as a few events in between. As you know, we're focused on a building fund goal of $10,000. To date, you have all generously donated over $1,700, and thank you very much. We want to continue this momentum. Please consider Unity of Chattanooga in your donations for Giving Tuesday. We'll have a donation box where you can give at our in-person services next Sunday, as well as the Unity of Chattanooga website, check by mail, and Venmo. Thank you very much, and we look forward to seeing you in person next Sunday. And don't forget potluck to follow. God bless, and thank you again.
As we bring our service to a close this morning, please join us as we say our prayer for protection together. And so together, the light of God surrounds us.
I am light.
The love of God enfolds us.
I am love.
The power of God protects us.
I am power.
The presence of God watches over us.
I am presence.
Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.
And in the spirit of thanksgiving and deep appreciation for the closing music today, I have chosen a song that I am dedicating to you.
Have a happy Thanksgiving.
As a matter of fact, have a happy everything.
God bless.
I'm here to remind you of your magnificence, to help you awake to all the wonder that you are. I long to show you all the joy you're worthy of. I'm here to remind you how much you're truly loved.
I'm here to remind
I'm here to remind you
of your magnificence, to help you awake to all the wonder that you are.
The wonder that you are.
I long to show you all the joy you're worthy of.
You're worthy of.
I'm here to remind you how much you're truly loved.